matter where you go, no matter what you do, take that Maui style with you. Cause if you ain't Maui styling, you just living on an island. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 There is sunshine in your heart. It's been with you from the start. Lift your head, look to the heavens, then you will feel brand new again. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Reach out your hand and help each other. Your mother, your father, your sister and brother. There is love in this family. Pick yourself up and get on your feet. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Makena styling, up country styling, Campo styling, Kahanapali styling, Hana styling, Waihu styling, Bahia styling, Keanai styling. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Maui styling, Maui styling, don't stop me now. Maui styling.
Aloha! Welcome to another Mama Presents. Today I have a great pleasure. Now you've been seeing me on TV talking to all kinds of politicians, but in fact, this is a diplomat. This is King Lion. King Lion is from Europe. Many of you that are in the music industry may already know of him. He has been a musical talent recording and performing throughout Europe for the last decade.
Yes.
And we're blessed to have him here. Thank you for being here in Maui and on our show.
Well, I'm glad to be here in Maui. It's a source of a very unique spirit and energy.
Oh, well.
And that's important.
You know, we all who live here in Maui, sometimes we get complacent and forget. Excuse me, I think someone's riding a bicycle through the... Oh, this is the bellman.
Okay.
Sometimes we here on Maui forget just how beautiful this place is and how special it is. But you've been around the world a lot. What do you think? Special, isn't it?
It's the place I like the most. And each year, I mean, at least I go through the entire EU. I do the Mediterranean from Crete, the Isle of Crete, to Greece, to Italy, you know, Spain, Ibiza, Jamaica, on this side of the world. Well, not exactly this side of the world, but this part of the west.
This side of
the west. And when I first came to Hawaii a couple of years ago, it was like, okay, this is it. From the Pacific Rim food, to the Hawaiian music, to the traditional music, to the people that I meet in the street. For example, this is what I call Hawaiian. I'm walking down the street and I was having my management team wire me money. So there was a...
management team should wire money.
Yeah, so it was like a little, you know, flim-flam. And because of the time difference and, you know, and Verizon telephone network and blah, 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 all of this stuff. So I was like, you know, a little like, you know, so I was walking down the street. It was the morning. I was doing my jogging thing. And a woman, I don't know her, stopped me and said, aloha. And I was like, what? She says, don't look so serious. It can't be that bad. You know, hey, look where you are. It's fine. The sun is shining. I said, yeah, you're right. She said, smile. And I smiled and I felt better. And then all of a sudden, you know, my telegram was here. You know, and then I was walking in Lahaina, you know, and a woman came up and she said, hey, you're under arrest. I was like, oh, is this some plainclothes policeman, you know, doing something strange? And she says, you're under arrest for smiling too much. You know, and gave me a smile citation in Genie. You know, I mean, you know, I definitely wasn't in Bosnia. You know, it definitely wasn't Estonia. It definitely wasn't Scandinavia or Germany. I mean, you know.
It's been really wonderful here, you know, with all the challenges that the world has in the Near East, the Far East, the Far West, the Near West, and the center. We have a little oasis paradise here where people have, I don't want to call it a Switzerland of the Pacific, but let us say it's a melting ground for people to all share in a very loving, aloha kind of way. It's been a great thing.
Especially if in the right vibe.
So you've been enjoying all kinds of music from here, huh?
Yeah, I've seen some really good people. In Oahu, it was like, okay, fine, I saw some things. All right, yeah, okay, that was nice. But then I got here, and it started off with a guy named Kenny Roberts. And I was sitting in my hotel balcony, and I was making my version of a Mai Tai. I mean, saying, okay, well, let's say I do, okay, first time in Kihei, to live for a while, you know. And I said, oh, okay, And I heard this music coming up from the pool. And I said, okay, it's not a recording. Oh, it's a live guy. Okay, listen. Oh, that sounds nice. Ooh, that sounds nice. You know, so I went downstairs.
All the musicians here think, well, I'm going to play a club and it's no one here listening, but that's not true.
No, it's not how many people it is, it's who it is.
Yeah.
And what they're about, you know.
So what was Kenny playing for?
So he was singing some song.
For you? I
So,
bet he did.
yes, and I came down, and I said, okay, this is cool. And the next thing, within a half hour of a little talking, we were playing together. And we did some songs together, having never played together before. And I use a weird tuning, but he says, don't worry, I won't look at your hands. I can do this. And I knew by looking in his eyes to trust it. And we made some beautiful music. And the people at the end said, hana ho. And that was my first Hawaiian hana ho, you know. And it was like, okay, this made me feel really good, because for people appreciating what I do here, that means a lot to me, because of the caliber and the spirit of it, of the people who are here. And sometimes maybe they take it for granted, you know. So I'm going to work on getting musicians to get to go to Europe, because I have a lot of contacts there now and stuff, so they can come for a month and appreciate that and understand it and express themselves to an audience that they would never think would actually be educated and really understand what we're doing. And they'd appreciate here even more when they come back, of how wonderful the weather is, and how clean the air is, and the dolphins are swimming, and the green sea turtles, and the fresh air, and no pollution, and you know.
You don't find that in other places in Europe?
Germany,
Dolphins?
okay.
Petrified dolphins?
Okay, Deutschland.
Germany?
Germany. The leaves are falling off the trees because of industrialization and chasing money. So they go to Denmark because they have no beaches anymore. You know, and what's in Denmark, it's like, Denmark is kind of like the road to Hana. There's nothing there. There's nature there. There's fish there. There's the Clean Air Act is there. Instead of lots of electricity, there are windmill farms, the biggest ones in the world, generating power. It's the most green country, so to speak, in Europe. So the Germans, with all their money, go there so they can appreciate nature and walk in the rain, and it's not acid rain.
See that? That's fantastic.
You know, and Scandinavia is beautiful too. It's pristine, but it's cold. It's cold, you know, but there's wonderful nature, and the people are quite educated and appreciate this, our Western pop culture and tradition.
Exchange.
Yes, it's important.
From Denmark here.
And vice versa. And to Germany. Germany has a particular interest in all things Hawaiian. Now, some people may say, okay, Baywatch Hawaii, but what it does, it acts as a thing that gets people to begin to be interested. Whether it's true or realistic or not, doesn't matter. the point is that it's showing scenes of Hawaii and people, and there's a plot line. Great. Everybody's looking at this saying, wow, is it so nice? And then a person like me shows up and they say, yeah, is it like that? I says, oh no, it's way better than that. And yeah, but it looks so beautiful, so green. I said, it doesn't even come close. You know, are the girls so beautiful? Better. You know, and it's like, and it begins a dialogue, and people start thinking, wow, yeah, okay. So in the past 2 years now, Hawaii did a whammy on me, from Oahu to, you know, Maui, and now I'm showing up, you know, and I always wear my Aloha shirts, and I start my show off with Aloha, and I wrote a song called Aloha and all these songs, and people just love it. And they buy my paintings that I did of Hawaii and Maui, and I wasn't trying to do it. And people say, oh, I want that so I can have a piece of that vibe and energy. And then I took all that so I could come back.
And how did we meet? Just sort of on a fluke, there we were.
Yeah, it's at the car show. That was brilliant. You know, I says, oh, at the Izeka, I think it's called, Izeka Plaza.
Yeah, Izeka Plaza.
And I said, oh, we're going to see some great, you know, custom cars, you know, from Maui. Got to be good, you know. And we went there, and it was. And I met this man running around appreciating some of the same cars, you know. Trying to figure out, okay, which ones are which, if you could have one. I couldn't make up my, but Purple Haze was looking good because I like Jimi Hendrix and the color purple, and I said, oh, I could see myself cruising around on that, but I'd probably wreck that one because I would actually drive it, you know. I wouldn't just have it sit, you know, I would drive it, you know, I mean,
are you
it's
a wild musician or are you a mild musician?
Well, it depends, you know, it's like, sometimes it's good to be mild, and other times it's good to be wild and play with your teeth, you know. You know.
So you're an, I can tell you're an entertainer. You're a for football. You're an entertainer.
Yes.
So have you been doing this here in the States and in Europe, or what's
Yeah, well, it started with in Atlantic City in South Jersey. I was a Springsteen roadie, the Jersey Shore clubs, you know, where you had to learn the new top 10 every week, you know. And that was really good school because you learned what is a song, what is a pop song, what is it, you know? And if you didn't keep it together, you were fired. So after some of that, I moved to New York and became a part of the Max's Kansas City CBGB scene and was known as the first black punk rocker. It's not something I named myself. Journalists did that, like the Village Voice and so forth. And that was a scene with like Blondie and the Ramones, and my name then was Neon Leon. So for those of you who may have been there and seen that stuff and heard about Neon Leon's dead, yes, he's dead, man, but King Lion is the new one. So, you know, that's that, you know, because I had to kill off that persona because it wasn't me anymore, you know, and what it represented at the time was fine. But then I changed in other ways. I would say I grew. So I left New York behind after a 7 years apprenticeship living at the Chelsea Hotel, painting, having all these professors and world famous artists and musicians all living there and going knocking on doors and saying, oh, I heard your music, who are you? Oh, wow, you look like Nico from Velvet Underground. I am. You know, and she would play funeral dirges all night, you know what I mean? And next to me was Tom Waits and Rickey Lee Jones. They were my next door neighbors. And they used to hang out at the El Quixote, which is right by the Chelsea Hotel. It's a part of the lobby, so to speak. And every night, usually if they were in town, they would have so many margaritas and so much tequila, you know. I would come home from gigging at Max's Kansas City or some after-hours club, and they didn't quite make it in the door, you know, and I would put them in the door, me and my girlfriend, and shut the door. To Sid Vicious and Nancy Spungen, to seeing Bob Dylan sneaking down the back hall with some blonde, and, you know, yeah, the Chelsea Hotel. Then I went to Europe with what I'd learned from there, because Europe was very interested in this New York arts music scene. Mm-hmm. And for the American music business, it wasn't really commercial because it was so uncompromising, you know.
But in Europe it had more audience.
And yes, there was, all of a sudden you were playing, say, in New York for 25 bucks. Right? And you caught the plane and landed, you know, and you got $1,000 for yourself. I mean, you know, it does affect you. Like, wait a minute, you know? And my friends say, wow, we should have come here sooner, you know, and I mean, okay, what's that? So that was the lure of like being able to make a living without compromising, because they considered it art, and CBS considered it noise, you know. So Warner Brothers Europe said, okay, great, what's the publishing? I said, okay, let's do the deal. They said, what about 70-30? And I says, okay, 70 for them, 30 for me, okay, but better than nothing. And I says, okay. They said, okay. And I looked at the contract, and it was 70% of the publishing for me and 30% for them. I mean, you know, I would say, okay.
That's a generous contract.
Yeah, I would say, okay. And he says, do you need some money? I said, yeah, why not? Okay, you can borrow against the publishing. And that was good.
Fantastic.
So I did a nice little apprenticeship in Scandinavia, which was quite good. And that was fun. And now it's this period of time. So it's time to take all of that and that knowledge and bring a new day. Like you had Seattle, right? Grunge. Okay. And you had punk rock. Okay, you know. And I think maybe it's Hawaii's time, because it's time for some positive stuff. You know what I mean? Like, hip-hop, everything is fine. It's all great. But what's the message? You know, and in these days, in these troubled times that we live in now, you know, we need something to, as Bruce Springsteen said, it's time for a rising, not revenge, you know, not, no, it's time to rise and take the high road and go up spiritually, inside, to make the world a better place. People say, oh, what can one person do? Well, okay, look at Jesus Christ. Look at Buddha.
Well, you know.
Adolf Hitler. Stalin. Hey, you know, one person can do a lot.
They can do a lot in any direction.
Yes.
And what I found is, together, we who are individually doing a lot, exponentially can bring this potential up into a great actualization that really is beyond our original vision.
And that's even better.
Oh, that's where we meet, you know, is like, that's how I got mostly attracted to you initially, was I saw that you were an artist who had a vision of a greater tomorrow, that the successes that you have and share, you want to share with others.
That's the point.
And be able to share, to be an example, a positive example. And in this kind of time, positive role models is a really wonderful thing.
It's like my new album, which is going to be, it's tentatively called Island Style. I was going to call it Hawaiian Style, but then I said, okay, that's too restrictive. So then I said Island Style to encompass the mentality of people who live on islands. And because it's a laid-backness and so forth. Take time to think, smell the roses, or the hibiscus, or whatever you want to call it. Take some time to look. And our meeting was kind of like something from a Jonathan Redmond book, like Celestine Prophecies and Insight, so that like-minded things get together and make something even bigger. So I see these musicians. I've got this album that I'm going to work on. I'm not concerned about whether all the songs are written by me. Okay, maybe I only have 4 good songs. I wrote 20. And maybe Steve Sargenti has 1 or 2, which he actually does. Hey, Steve. You know, and maybe Kenny Roberts has something, and maybe Marty Dredd. I'm going to do something by Butch Halamano, and an arrangement by Roots. Why not? Why not?
Absolutely.
You know, and maybe one of them is a big hit, maybe internationally. And wow, everybody got some money, and, you know, and everybody's happy. Who wants to ride in a Rolls Royce alone if you want to ride in one? I mean, it's, who wants to be the person with all the money and everybody else is suffering and starving? I mean,
yeah, I agree. And the fact that, see, like I say, take some of the money that's made as a record company, or whoever you want to say,
and put it
towards supplement development of renewable energy, other environmental programs, create demonstrations
save
of
the planet.
Save the planet. That's the power of music and art, and working together.
Yes.
The fact that you could write 12 songs, or you maybe have 12 great songs, but then that's enough for 3 albums because you brought in other people besides.
Yes.
And by all of us working together, you have many more people out there promoting and sharing this wonderful product,
yes,
that
making it
involves
happen.
them. Otherwise, sometimes someone wants to do everything, and they end up being in their own.
A jack of all trades and master of none. You know, it's like there's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. There's nothing wrong with any of that. There's nothing wrong with collaborations. You know, all of us can't be Bob Dylan. You know, it's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, I wish I could just turn out songs like Bob Dylan, but I can't. But oh, it's nothing wrong with me doing a Bob Dylan song, because that's what it's there for. You know, there's nothing wrong with quoting Shakespeare. That's the genius of it. It's like, it's here, you know, to be used and to be shared, to make a better whole.
And maybe we'll get Bob Dylan to come down and join us, because we've got
You never know.
a project that involves a demonstration to the whole world that we as musicians and artists have something to give, to lead into, you know, there's many that think that musicians and artists are outside of mainstream society.
Yeah,
But
they're
in
just
fact,
observing
they're
it.
the fabric. You know, art and music are the more lofty, sometimes people go, the more lofty arts that really allow people to relax and think about the future. And that's where the dreams are made, you know. So having to work for a living and a regular, typical job, I have nothing against McDonald's or any computer companies and everything, but there's something that the public rushes out to embrace the artist, because they see, I don't know what it is, man and woman at leisure that are able to create something outside the box.
Yeah, outside the box, outside the matrix. And then sometimes you have to step outside of it to see it.
You know, we can go on, and I want to be sure we may come back, but I would like to get you singing a couple of songs. Would you?
Will do.
Would you do that?
Yeah, yeah, I'd love it.
Okay.
My pleasure.
We're going to be right back and have King Lion singing a couple of songs. I'll let you introduce him. Right back. Watch this, the magic of television.
Okay, this is a song I just completed on this trip to Hawaii, and it's called Maui. The tentative title is called Maui. Maybe that changes, but here's the basic thing. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's a place in the South Pacific Ocean where my rambling soul does dwell. And I know the time is coming when my heart will cease to heed that lonesome call. It's that call, and it's that feeling in my soul that keeps my heart rambling down the road. And I know someday soon I'll see you in your smiling face and my sunny Southwest Maui Key way home. Well, there's so much now that I've seen in this old world, but one thing just hurts me till the end. It's the people that cannot live together, don't want to waste their lives on love and living free. But I've got a call, and I've got a feeling in my soul that kept my heart rambling down the road. And I know someday soon I'll see you in your smiling face and you're my sunny Southwest Maui Kihei home. Now the time has come, time to leave this old world. Lord, I'm weary and I want to settle down, 'cause I cannot waste my life on these people without eyes. Time to get back and live life like I should. 'Cause I've got a call, and I've got a feeling in my soul that keeps my heart rambling down the road. And I know someday soon I'll see you in your smiling face and my sunny southwest Maui Kihei home. And one more?
Please.
A song about love.
I've heard of love.
And love, you know, the Beatles said all you need is love. And that's what we need. More and more of that, you know. Is somebody spit on you, don't spit back. You know, because that just builds on the negative. And you just get more and more. Find someone to love and try to do the best you can and spread that. Whoa, yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I wanna wake up with you. I wanna be there when you open your eyes. I want you to be first thing that I see. I wanna wake up with you. I wanna lay by your side. I wanna feel the beat of your heart. And throughout the night, wanna love and squeeze you right. I wanna wake up with you. All the love inside me has been sleeping. Oh, I'm waiting for the right one to come along. You can share the love I've been keeping, baby. You can put the music to my song. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I want you to be first thing that I see. I wanna wake up with you. I wanna wake up with you. I wanna be there when you open your eyes. I want you to be first thing that I see. I wanna wake up with you. Oh, I wanna wake up with you. I wanna wake up with you. I wanna wake up. I wanna wake up with you. Yeah, man.
Instant television. We're back.
Jeez.
You are a pleasure to be with. You know, you have very positive, uplifting energy, you know. I, like you, like to choose material that's uplifting and kind of leaves you with a good flavor afterwards, you know?
Yes, protest is fine. And the news is fine, but, you know, if you want to go, ooh, you know, turn on CNN.
Well, you probably
and you can get all the...
When we were meeting there, I was there covering a couple of political candidates that were there at the car show. One of them has a vehicle. Bradish Johnson had an old car.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know, and I do politics like you do your songs, like I do my songs. I'm there to see how can I add a little something to put a positive spin on it. What can we do to make this a better world? And you know, want to wake up with you and being in Maui and being happy and sharing positive message. That's really, really a wonderful thing. What kind of material do you find? I know you found Steve Sargenti's song.
Oh, The Road to Hannah. There's nothing there. I love places where there's nothing there. You know, there was not even timeshare. You know, I mean, oh, funny. I mean, I survived the road to Hana. I mean, people told me about that.
Now it's easy. It used to be it was a hard road. Now it's a matter of surviving being in a traffic jam at the moment.
Well, when we went, I mean, you know, my girlfriend drove first, and you know, and me, I was like, oh, look over there, you know, and she's like, oh, you know. And then on the way back driving, I understood too, because I mean, it definitely wasn't the Autobahn. Which is an incredible superhighway, but by far not as interesting as the Road to Hana. It was just beautiful, most fantastic nothingness I saw in a long time. Road to Hana.
Where, of course, we don't want to give away the song, but many of you know, people talk about the Road to Hana, that they get there and there's nothing there, no Taco Bell, no used car lot, no swimming pool. You know?
And no timeshare, yeah, it was great. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you saw Kenny Roberts' music also?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And he's got a few songs. And then I met this guy, Marty Dread.
Marty Dread. Which song are you looking for, Marty?
I'm going to pick up a CD, you know, because I wasn't really familiar with his material.
Lono does a couple of great covers.
He was another great guy.
Lono's another great guy.
Lono was definitely happening. I saw him the other night. Lono man! Chaka! You know,
so
it was like
have some good material to choose from. We all
I found more interesting artists in Maui than I did in Oahu. You understand? No offense to Oahu. I love Oahu. Butch Halamano, players of instruments.
Absolutely.
You know, absolutely fantastic. As he says, life is what you make of it. But there's just so many talented people. I was saying, God, maybe I'm supposed to make a label here. You know,
that's what we're doing here.
And do this.
That's exactly right.
You know, because
there are great talents here. And here, if you may recognize that this Maui Arts and Music Association is to be able to promote artists and bring the money back here to supplement development of technologies. That's that social thing.
It's like Bonoism. Sting and Bonoism, okay? You know,
well,
it's like,
we
you know.
them. We hope that you both have Sting and Bono come here.
This is the kind of thing.
Part of what we do.
I was with Sting at a thing called the Brazilian Rainforest Project.
Right.
In New York, and that was fun. Way back in the day when I was so much older than I'm younger than that now. You know, and that was the beginning of some of my realization about the environment and stuff like that through music. And I mean, okay, I'm not a millionaire yet, but I am, you see, because it's all in the mind. You know, it's things come. If you're not looking for it, it comes. But then when you get it, it's like, it's almost more trouble than it's worth. So you might as well give half of it away, which my old manager hated this attitude about me. Why are you going to go to Russia and play? There's no money. And I says, yeah, but, you know, everybody's poor, so I might as well go and play, you know, and try to help them, teach them English. You know, and they said, no, you'll never make this thing, because it was Eurovision, which is the Eurovision Song Festival, which is about a 60-year-old project. And so I submitted a song to Lithuania. I don't speak Latvian. And the girl didn't speak English. So I hired a translator. The studios are bad, so we flew her to Denmark, where the studios are high-tech, world-class. After one day, she went back with the song. My manager and everybody said, you're on drugs. He's worthless, he's useless, he's lost his mind. You know, Oeve, what's this that he's doing, you know?
Oeve, you catch that?
So, then the final thing was, after I'd been dropped from my contracts, I got a phone call from Lithuania saying, Kingas Linus, this is Eugenius Budvydas. We'd like to from Eurovision and the Symphony Orchestra of Lithuania and the National Cultural Ministry. We'd like to say congratulations. You're one of 15 finalists out of 145 songs. Can you come for major press conference on Thursday?
Hey, fantastic.
Right. Okay, now all the experts said, forget about it. It's impossible. And we broke 2 Eurovision records of having 2 different songs from the same team in 2 different countries at the same Eurovision, same year, and both made the finals. So dreams can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. You know, it's you have to believe. You have to know when you're recording. You got to know when to stop, or have someone that you trust that tells you, okay, it's enough now, and trust them. And go along with it. Relinquish your power sometimes to somebody else who might know something different and another perspective on it than you do, because you're too close to it to see the forest for the trees. You know, and miracles can happen. You know, if me can wind up having a hit song, you know, in the Baltic states, Lithuania and Russia, come on, I don't even speak Russian. All the odds were against it, but it happened anyway, right? Because I shared, I didn't think about the money. Now, they invite me there to make money. I'm gonna go to San Remo Festival with a whole bunch of people that I can't even talk to. But does that let us stop us? No, we just play the music. I have a blues band. It's part Russian, part Lithuanian. They sound like, you know, 70-year-old black guys from Mississippi. They know more about blues than the average American does. And so we do jazz and blues festivals, you know, and the crowd goes crazy. But we can't even talk to each other, so we don't talk, we play, and we share it.
Well, it sounds like we're really the universal language of music.
And art.
And art, and environment.
Networking is also an art.
You know? Well, I hope that you will become...
And love.
Goes without saying, but... And love.
Aloha.
Aloha. Do you know that I found that aloha means God in Hebrew? Isn't that fantastic?
Oy
The
vey.
lost tribe of Israel. See, there we are.
Well, it all goes back, you know. To the beginning, it's all very clear. You were meant to be here from the beginning. You know, it's
We're
like...
going to be singing together, I can tell.
Yeah, well, Jason's got a really great voice.
Well, we're going to get to
Yeah.
that. That'll maybe...
That was really cool, you know. Everybody needs to leave Maui for 1 month so that then they can come back. So they realize what they have and who the people are that they're around, that they take for granted and say, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the problem with paradise sometimes. It's so good, you don't realize you're in it anymore. You know?
Yeah.
So I would like to send everyone to Estonia or Lithuania to the countryside. For those of you who are complaining about you don't have enough money, and wow, we only have 3 cars, and oh, gee, I have to do 2 jobs. Well, there's many people in the world who wish they had 1 job besides picking up 10 cans and smashing them down and trying to sell them so they can feed their family. You know, you're rich already, so begin to enjoy your riches already. It's not about money. You know, yeah, that's just frosting on the cake. It comes and it goes, and you can't take it with you. You know, and you can't really buy time with it. You only have so much time, so you should use it in a positive way to come back to you, you know. This is what I believe and what I live by, and it's been lucky so far. You know, I've got to go around the world and say this stuff, you know. It's like, wow, I get to be here and hang out for a month and not have 2 jobs. Playing music, art, being nice to people, listening, sharing.
Isn't it terrific?
You know, it's easy.
We only get a king lion here once in a while in this persona. But all of us who embrace that same feeling here, I mean, maybe that's what is attracted here, you know? There are great people with loving hearts that you come here, you already had it in you, but somehow you now stop and you realize you're in a land where that is the pervasive
It's the
attitude.
common thing, and it's like, so I feel home.
We're glad.
I feel home here. That's why I wrote the song about my sunny Southwest Maui Kihei home, finishing it off here at this hotel.
Yeah.
After listening to such beautiful artists, meeting you, people in the street at the car show, to this, meeting people constantly, to the waitress, to the policeman, saying, oh, aloha, what's happening?
Many of us here believe that we can have paradise if we learn to put the positive spin on everything we do and share that loving spirit.
Well, it's easier to look at the negative side of something. You know, that's like the easy route. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I don't have it. No, no, you got what you need right now. You know, don't dwell on that. You know, it's like today. I was in Haiku. And I was there, and, you know, there's nothing there. But everything was there. And I was hungry. And, okay, there was no store around, but it was like, hey, wait a minute. And Steve kind of read my mind, walked over to a tree and grabbed an orange and handed it to me. I opened it up, it was perfect, sweetest orange I ever had. Then he bent over and picked up something kind of like a passion fruit and said, try one of these. Okay, right off the vine, perfect, couldn't be fresher, way beyond the store. And God gave it to me, you know, through Steve. You know, and over here is another thing. Try one of these, man. You know, and,
Passion fruit.
yeah, and, you know, yeah. You know, and he says, this one's a little sour. Yeah, okay, let's go for it. Yeah, okay, let's finish the orange. Okay, and let's over here by the waterfall, we got some nuts. Let's try some of these, man. Yeah, there you go. I was rich.
What
you
did
know,
you say?
if I would have gone to the shop down the street, that would have cost me $10.
Easy.
And it wouldn't have been as good. So, I mean, you know, you're surrounded by, I mean, just the sunset that you have every night. That more people just stop and look at it.
Appreciated what we have? I bet so. Maybe tonight when you see the sunset, you'll appreciate. People come from all over the world to enjoy
see
the sunset
this.
that we have every day. What a blessing.
And to go up to Haleakala and see the sunrise. I mean, when was the last time you were at Haleakala at the top? Oh, it's for tourists. No, it's for everyone. Because there's a power in it, you know? It's like seeing how it was in the beginning and how will always we be, and when we come and pass and this time shall go, it's still going to be going on. And it's a source of power and energy and inspiration. It's something primal within us all. That's why people fly from all over the world and take boats from all over the world, you know, and save for years or whatever to get here, to just take part for 1 week so they can feel alive.
What is this, sponsored by the Maui Visitors Bureau on his chest?
No, no. Yeah, but I'm for it, man.
You know, that feeling that you feel, that's wonderful, because that is really what everyone wants to have delivered. You got it.
I mean, I go to the beach, you know, okay, which beach today? So I go to the beach and it's like I got so much energy from being here. It's like, okay, I'm painting on the beach. And at first I was saying, God, all this sand is getting all over the painting. But then I said, wow, yeah, of course there's sand on the painting. A little bit of Maui is actually on the painting. And then I said, for the paint, I might as well use the water from the South Pacific. Yeah, so the painting is actually done with water from the South Pacific and Maui sand, you know. And I'm going to take this back to Europe, and they're going to say, how much do you want? And I'm going to say, well, I can't put a price tag on it. And so my art agent will say, oh, blah, 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 blah. And okay, that'll be another ticket to Maui. Right. And I'll sell the other one, and okay, Jeannie gets one. Okay, we got 2 tickets back. Okay, you know, so I'm going to do a lot of paintings about Hawaii so I can sell them to get back to Maui, you see. And it promotes Maui. And people look at, just painting about nature and the musicians, you see, and people look at that and they want to be there. And they get a little bit of energy, and they get a little bit of sand, and they get a little bit of the water there, and their home, a little bit of this energy. And when they're feeling bad, they're going to look at that painting and say, oh, maybe I could. And one day they say, maybe I will. And then one day they say, we're going.
And then maybe one day they get here and they see what we're doing here, and they
want to join in.
Back with them the dream of Maui, environmental solutions that they saw here, a responsible, integrated way of living, a positive attitude, all of it together to make this a better world in all ways. You know, it really is so important to be inclusive, that everyone wins, because there is surely abundance. You know, like you said, you take an orange off a tree or a lilac.
You can't do that everywhere. Do that in New York City, I dare you. Do that in the middle of Paris, I dare you. You can't. I give you $10,000 right now if you can do it, and you can't, you know?
Right.
But you can just go visit your friend, you know, and you're hanging out and you're walking through and you had your lunch. Okay, that looks good too, and it's no problem.
We're lucky here, aren't we?
Yeah, incredibly lucky.
I hope that you will come and join us. Do you have any art easily available for us to see now, or should we?
I send you some things.
Okay.
Because the work in progress, I'd rather you see it at the end.
You know, obviously there's so much more to share with King Lion. You know, it only happens once in a while that I get someone that sort of finds their way into the mama world. You know, we didn't go to your agent to find you.
No.
We just found you just sort of natural. It was just a natural meeting.
That's better.
Perfect time. And it's uncanny how we found we agreed about the same song from the different artists.
That was very funny. That was very, very funny. It's like,
So I know that we're going to be sharing music and positive ideas.
Yes.
And you're going to be part of our, I trust, We hope to have a series of shows, an annual CD,
I am already
promoting art and music. King, Lion. We hope. Do you have a name for your new? Well, that's a perfect face. What a kingly face. Do you have a name for the album yet?
Tentative title was Hawaiian style, but I've changed it now. It's to Island style.
Okay.
So that it's not as restricted.
And the
because
label?
some of the tune may be country.
Sony?
Oh no. No, well, it could be Sony. You know, me and the producer are doing it without that.
Okay.
He's the one who had the hits with Tom Jones. You know, he's got the money. He put up the time.
Before you come to break down the door. Yeah. Oh, not Tom Jones.
No, Tom is cool. Tom is cool. Tom Jones is great. Know why? See, he decided that managers couldn't be trusted. So he got together with his wife, you know, and they had their son. And his son is his manager.
Oh.
Yes. That's why he's current. And his son said, wow, this is great Turkish-German multi-culti again, guy named Moose T. You should have him do the song. Next thing, Tom Jones is back with Sex Bomb and all this kind of stuff, and
Isn't that
current.
fantastic?
And I luck out, and now this guy is doing me. So, okay, that's funny, and I hope it works so I can expose these artists here and then be the liaison between the Moose T's of the world. And I can be here, and they can call me up, and I can say, okay, yeah, Marty Dreadman, you know, check this out. Let's distribute this in Germany. Let's distribute it here, there. You know, that's what's needed.
What we want? This international, multicultural artist merge. You know, I think it's really a fantastic thing.
Let's license a Christian Reese Larson painting for the cover of that CD, or George Allen, or John Petrie, or Dawn Petrie, you know, or Weiland, you know, and have some of those things on the covers of stuff, exposing the nature and so forth for this movement. Remember, at one time, the Beatles were unknown. They were called the Silver Beatles, and they hung out in Germany. The German connection is very interesting and all this stuff. And Liverpool was a little sleepy port like Lahaina, so to speak. And, you know, a lot of people said there was nothing there. And the Beatles and that was all these groups, man, hanging out, and they didn't really realize who they were. And then some people came along and said, wait a minute. And some Germans got involved and had them all play in Hamburg. You know, and a whole thing happened that changed the world. You know, all you need is love. Ba, ba, da, da, da.
That's right.
You know, and then after a while it swung the other way and we got to the negative thing. You know, the music of darkness and things like this is fine because you got to have both. Now it's time for light again, and this time of war and rumors of war, etc. and so forth. So, wow, the most light place that we have found in our little pilgrimage is these islands here. So, and the music and the art, it's like Rome with Caravaggio and Bernini and Leonardo da Vinci, except the name is John Petrie and Christian Reese Larson. And what are the paintings are about? The Pope sponsored the last Renaissance. Maybe there's a new Renaissance happening in the new millennium. Why not? If everyone believes in it enough, maybe it is.
We are? We're in the perfect place to synthesize and work all of this together and share it with the world.
It's unique.
It's a great thing.
It's absolutely unique.
Well, thank you for spotting it.
Yes.
You really, I feel like I'm hearing my words coming out of someone else.
Ah.
A pleasure. We
Same.
hope that you will join us again. King Lion, Maui, King Lion. We hope to all get your album and be part of a future and have you part
And
of
you're
our
all a
future
part of
too.
the album anyway, because I couldn't have done it. Thanks for letting me be the puppet to, you know, take the feelings from here and be able to channel them. Thank you. And I'll be responsible with it. You know, we're going to have a good time. A real good time.
Wonderful,
Aloha.
Thank you very
And
much.
mahalo. Ah, mahalo.
Aloha.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again.
Great. And I mean what I say about New Liverpool. You know, it's like Seattle. There's like these new movements that the record business kind of supports for a while. They don't care if it's good or bad, as long as it's making money, you know, and they can figure out a way to package it. So Seattle, what was that? Heroin, you know, and so a lot of kids died, and it sold a lot of heroin, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's over. Oh, hip hop, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yo, shoot the motherfucker in the head, da, 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 da. Oh, that's real positive, isn't it? Okay, that kids want to grow up and be gangsters. What? Oh, yeah, I want to grow up and be Al Capone and sell crack. I mean, you know, hello, and I want to abuse women and call them bitches. I mean, you know, come on. This is not it. Everybody knows this isn't it. Come on, respect, come on for one another, all people, you know? It's like, hey, Abraham. Abraham was a Jew, he was a Muslim, and he was a Christian too. He was a father at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it's in the bosom of Abraham. Come on, let's get back. There is no difference. It's the same in Yahweh. It's the same Buddha. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. And wow, what's left? New York has been done to death. You know, and that's bad drugs too. London, more bad drugs, blah, 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 because it's influencing the scene. So what do you have now? You have what's left? As Krakistan music? I don't think so. They don't allow music. So okay, now they're not ready. You know, Scandinavia's been done with ABBA to Barbie Girl and all that kind of stuff. So that's done. Germany, it don't work. You know, because they sing with too much of a German accent and there's too much visions of World War II, so it just doesn't work, especially in America. It's not going to happen. So, what's left now? Okay, we did Girl from Ipanema. We did that scene, that's done, you know. They did the Africa, Hugh Masekela, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's done. You know, Enrique and Julio and, you know, all of that. The Latin thing, Shakira and all, okay, that's done. Well, the mainland is done. Britney Spears, boy bands, done. Saturated, enough. What's left? Okay, Bob Marley dead, so we can't do that, and that scared people. Okay, so what did the Hawaiians do? They adopted this and made a new thing and vibe with music. And I've seen that all these people in Europe love it. You know, when I get into like the Hawaiian thing and this Hawaiian stuff, everybody goes mad. The woman down in Austria, right in St. Anton, which is a fabulously exclusive ski resort, she says, okay, from you, I just want reggae. Just this Hawaiian stuff, man, and wear those Hawaiian shirts. I said, the whole night? She says, please. I'm like, okay, you're the boss. I don't mind. And what happened? Boom, I started doing just straight Hawaiian stuff in these songs I wrote about Hawaii. And the dinner thing began to be like people was just dancing and packed and lines 6 nights a week. And when I wasn't there doing it on my night off, the business dropped.
Wow.
And people call up and make their reservations. In Denmark, at this place, Tropland, high season, we're doing 600 dinners a night. We turn the tables over 3 times a night, and all I'm doing is the same thing again. Starting off with Aloha and playing Makana Sons and these Makaha Sons and
Right.
greatest hits of Hawaii. You know, it's from Blue Hawaii to the drum song to a Waterfall. You know, and that's what's played in between. In Denmark, to all these families, and everybody's like, oh, and they all leave like, oh, okay. And they say, hey, can you order us Hawaiian shirts for the whole staff? Okay. Wow, where can we get some leis, you know? Okay. Can you do some paintings of dolphins and volcanoes and stuff to put on the walls? Okay. Hello. And then, as I leave, the guy says, can you go by Mama's Fish House for me? And there's an apartment building, I can't remember the name of it, the condos. Could you get the number? Because I think next year when my son's old, I'm going to take my wife and son so they can see what I went through when I was surf champion and so forth, and they can share in the spirit of Maui. It's the writing's on the wall. I think so.
I think so too.
The writing's on the wall, and I feel like I'm an ambassador. And I guess I am.
And you are.
It's great. And you're really funny. It's great. And you got a really good, big voice with a lot of feeling in it. You know, it's like, you should definitely sing more, because that also will help maintain even better balance. You know, and damn the torpedoes, because of course, some people are going to say, oh, no, 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 Jason. Don't you sing, don't you sing. That's because you just make them feel maybe a little insecure. This happens, you know. So you don't listen to it.
I know it's time to sing.
Sing even louder.
We'll get a chance to do some of that stuff here very soon.
Yes. You know.
Why don't we stop and say hello to the ladies?
Yes, yes, we'll do.
Aloha. I don't know if we're on or not, but Why? So, when you play, what's the name of the place again?
Café Tropland in Denmark.
Café Tropland in Denmark.
And Bloven, Denmark, which is blue water translation, is the furthest western point of Scandinavia. Next stop, England and United States.
Oh. Well,
It's a very serious place, too.
I bet it's serious. So you're going to play us a song in honor of the serious place?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Oh, please do.
This is dedicated to a song by the Beatles. The Beatles.
The Beatles.
Goes a little bit like this. Close your eyes and I kiss you. Tomorrow I miss you. Remember I'll always be true. I'll be true. And then while I'm away, I'll write Maui every day. And I'll send all my alohas to you. All to you. All my loving I will send to you. All my loving, darling, I'll be true. I'll be true. All my loving, 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 I will send to you.
Well, you have too much fun. We love that.
You know.
Great, I love that.
Well, I can see you're made for Maui.
Wowie.
You're Maui Wowie for sure.
It's the best place I know. You know, it's like, ooh, I wish everyone could come here for at least a week and get their insides straightened out. You know, you probably need more than a week. You know, as you said, like in a week, they're just getting relaxed.
That's right.
So, I mean, we've been in Hawaii this time for a whole month and maybe 1 or 2 days. And, you know, it's not quite enough, but at least we feel like we're here. And the old energy has been replaced with a lot of glorious new energy, you know, where my girlfriend's like upset because I'm the last one to go to sleep and I'm the first one up and I'm waking up every day before the alarm clock, you know, just the sun's rising and it's completely nuts. But hey, who needs Red Bull?
Who needs Red
dancing?
Bull?
All I need is some good Pacific Rim food, man.
Man.
And it's the righteous way.
We are thrilled to have had you with us. We hope you will join us again very soon.
Okay, you got it.
Aloha.
Aloha.
And we make believe it's spotlights from the cars passing on their way. The roar of the engines was our crowd as we got up on the stage. The trees are full of people calling for us to begin. And we played all night 'cause that highway crowd kept calling us back again. Yes, we do our show on Stardust Road because it keeps us free. And if anyone can see, we give them a man.